What up, everybody? Welcome back. This is AC the Engineer. Welcome back to another episode of AC Reviews the World. It is episode 28. We are at episode 28, everybody. I know we're getting up there. We keep going, and we're going to keep going. But hope everybody's having a good Tuesday morning. Hope everybody's weekend was good. First stream of the week. So we got some things to talk about. A lot of things have been going on, but hopefully everybody's week is going good. It's 6 a.m. You know, the early, like my mama used to say, the early bird catches the worm. So hopefully you're getting up, getting ready for work, or you just up and just about to get the day started. So we can talk about some important news that's been happening around and see what's going on. So we can review the world together. Like I always say. But how's everybody doing? Thank you for watching. If you watch it later or watch it anytime, just thank you for tuning in. Tell me your feedback, and like always, tell me if you think I said anything wrong. Tell me if you disagree with anything. That's the whole point of this show, so we can have a discussion and talk about things. But hope everybody's having a good time. We got a couple of things to talk about. Got the steel plant explosion, Maryland home fires. What we got? Teens are carjacking ride shares. A bunch of stuff. We got a body cam footage to review for some looking like a teacher is abusing a 7-year-old. People, a lot of things going on, a lot of things that we got to get into. But I hope everybody's having a good day. Hope everybody has a good day and a good rest of the week. No, this is the first time I see y'all, and I'll see y'all again on Friday and then Saturday. But without further ado, let's get right into it. Now, the first thing, let me change the view because we got to get right into it. But let's see. Oh, let me do this. Let's get into it. Now, the first thing we're going to look at is the steel plant explosion. So, yeah, we got to go into the steel plant explosion. I'm not sure what all happened, but it was mass casualties, and looks like some people were trapped under the rubble. So let's get right into that and see what it's talking about.
Big news out of Clairton, Pennsylvania, and I did want to share this live look with you. This is a live look there at the scene where there was an explosion at a U.S. steel plant in that community. Scanner traffic and authorities describing this as a mass casualty incident with multiple injuries. And you can see from this live look right here in the distance a number of ambulances and patrol cars. We've seen dozens of patrol cars, ambulances, and fire trucks responding to this area right here. This is in Clairton, Pennsylvania. This is a short distance away from Pittsburgh, but this is specifically the community of Clairton. And we are getting a little bit more information that I did want to share with you. So this was an explosion that happened today at a U.S. steel coking plant near Pittsburgh in the community of Clairton, Pennsylvania. This has, according to the Associated Press, left people trapped in the rubble. And we do have a little bit more information right here. Emergency workers are currently on site trying to rescue these trapped people in the rubble. As of now, there are no confirmed fatalities at the Clairton Coke Works plant. That is according to the director of communications at Allegheny County. The Allegheny County Emergency Services said a fire at the plant started at around 10:51 a.m. Eastern Time. It also said that it transported 5 people, but the agency did not provide any more information on those people transported. All they would say is that this is currently an active scene. The Clairton Coke Works, that is where that explosion happened. It is an industrial facility along one of the rivers south of Pittsburgh. It is considered to be the largest coking operation in North America. So this is a live look right here from the scene. But I also wanted to share some video from moments ago, and you could actually see plumes of smoke there in the distance. I wanted to play that out for you right now. And take a look at this. This is from moments ago. You can see some of the smoke right there from one of the plant's right there. It's, you know, whether this is part of the explosion or not, that is yet to be determined. But we did want to share this with you, as this does appear to be the steel plant in focus, as you can see it from the distance. Folks being told to stay away, as you can imagine, still a very active scene. Very dangerous scene, as we now know that several people are trapped inside the rubble at this plant following that explosion and happening right now. Emergency workers are on site trying to rescue them. So the photographer on the scene has continued to focus on this specific area. So again, this seems to be the area of interest in this scene. We have seen, and you can see from this video taken moments ago, just how many patrol cars are there. In the distance beyond that, you can see dozens of law enforcement officers walking around. They are speaking with people, and they are asking the public to stay away from this area, as it does remain an active investigation. But take a look right there beyond the railroad crossings. You can see dozens of law enforcement officers there, you know, talking on the phone. You can also see the flashing lights, and we've seen ambulances arriving at this area as well. Traffic being directed away from this area, as you can imagine, just still very dangerous, as we are now understanding that people are trapped beneath rubble following an explosion.
Now, I'm going to stop. You know, I don't like to stop it too much, but main thing I got to say is I got to give props to anybody who's working in any kind of factory, steel factory, any kind of factory in general. It's a hard work. A lot of people aren't willing to do it nowadays unless they really got to do it. But God, I never worked in a factory, so I don't know. All I've heard is stories from my father worked in a factory. I've had other friends who worked in the factories before, but I know it's hard work. But someone has to do it. So I give props to anybody who's worked in a factory before and done what they needed to do. Well, God, I can't imagine being trapped. A fire breaks out and you get trapped inside a facility. Don't know if you're gonna live or die. Well, let's keep going into this video and see what else they got to tell us.
At this U.S. steel plant in Pennsylvania. And I did want to share the very latest information. This is from the Allegheny County Police Department issuing an alert saying that police are responding alongside multiple other agencies to U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works following the report of an explosion. Multiple injuries have been reported. More information to follow. At this point in time, we don't have any information as to when authorities might be providing more details, but we do know that this facility is considered the largest coking operation in North America. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro also responding with this social media post saying, "My administration is in touch with local officials in Clairton, Pennsylvania, as they respond to an explosion at U.S. Steel Clairton Coke Works plant this morning. Multiple agencies are in touch with first responders and have offered all assistance. The scene is still active, and folks nearby should follow the direction of local authorities. Please join Lori and me in praying for the Clairton community." Now, a short time ago, we did see one of the reporters there at the scene with KDKA speaking with someone who may have witnessed, and I did want to play out those remarks for you right now.
Now, before that, see, I didn't know what a steel coking plant was, so just a quick Google search. If you don't know, if you know, but I didn't know. So let's see. A steel coke plant, also known as a coking plant or a coke works, is a facility that produces coke from coal. Coke is a crucial component in steel making, acting as both fuel and a reducing agent in the blast furnace process. Okay. Well, just so we know.
Yeah, at this point, we still know multiple people injured. We're actually going to talk with Clairton Mayor right now, Rich Tansey. Mayor, what are you hearing so far of this unfortunate situation?
Well, like I said, I had some people text me this morning. I was at the hospital with my dad getting some tests and said, hey, my house is shook. There was a big explosion, we think, from the mill. And then on my 911 call, I saw that they called for multiple ambulances and possible, multiple injuries and so on and so forth. And like I said, when I got back, I wanted to talk to some people in the mill. Everybody's still trying to sort it out, but at the end of the day, it was a tragedy. An explosion supposedly from a reversing room between 13 and 15 battery, and some people possibly injured, maybe critically. And my heart goes out to them and their family, and I'm just so sad about this whole day. And the mill is such a big part of Clairton, but everyone that works there, and I don't care how young or how old you are, you got to work every day to make a living for your family. You need to go home healthy, and some people are not going to see the same husband or son or somebody that's working the mill, and it's just a sad day for Clairton.
Explain what that means for those of us that have never been there. What does that reversing battery mean? What exactly is all that?
I don't know what the reversing room does, but I know it's very important to 13 and 15 batteries operation. So that's two more batteries that are down right now. And just recently, Clairton had a couple other batteries go down. So now these batteries will be down for a while until this can be rebuilt, which is going to be a long process. But at the end of the day, the injuries and if there's any deaths or whatever, we can't take that back. We can't rebuild that or fix that. Somebody today, is injured, and there's going to be a lot of pain and sorrow with their family and friends. And all the coworkers that work in there, what do you think they're thinking right now? This could have been me, or this could be me next week. So, they have a tough job, and it's a dangerous job, and my heart bleeds for every one of them and their families.
Now, I will say, because that is a big thing that we have to think about, is that when you are just miss an accident, or you are just basically the accident just missed you, you are at the same time you're thankful that you were able to make it out, but I feel like at some point you also feel guilty that you're feeling that way, that you are happy that it wasn't you but someone else. It's a hard feeling to think about, but it is a feeling that we feel, and we have to be honest about it. Now we're gonna watch a little. We're not gonna watch this whole thing. We'll watch a little bit more of it.
I was going to say, you have a very personal connection to U.S. Steel. You work just down the road at the Irvin Works. While maybe not this plant, you're still, USW bonded. What's that feeling for you? Not just as like the political leader here, but as someone that's worked in the mill, worked with steel workers.
Right. The union and the mills are my brothers and sisters. I was a union worker, and I just recently, in the last couple of years, helped get a couple dozen people hired. There could have been somebody in this mill today that I helped them get a job because they wanted a good paying job. And now I'm thinking to myself, wow, I got them a job, and now they're injured. But I mean, yeah, they're union brothers and sisters, and it would be like somebody in your family. We're all family. And I just, like I said, I'm just so distraught.
I know it's still early. Is there any potential hazard to the people of Clairton at this point? Should they be sheltering in place? Should they be doing anything like that?
Well, I would have probably got a call for somebody, a heads up higher up in the U.S. Steel to say, Mayor, you got an issue with the pollution or Clairton. I did not receive a phone call, and I heard things were under control, so I'll go with that for now.
Who's kind of being the lead on this? Is this what could be county emergency services? It probably handles everything.
Oh yeah, with something of this magnitude, it went out to the county, and I saw an all call, which means everybody that's available come, and mass injuries, possibly casualties. So we got people as far as Pittsburgh, Verona. I saw a couple of the ambulances, whatever. I got my guys from council out here helping out with traffic. My public works guys. Everybody's chipping in to make this work, and by the end of the day, we'll know more, but it's not going to be a pretty thing.
So, you hear, that's the thing about these communities. You got to make sure that everybody comes together, especially in a time of tragedy and things like this. But I feel like we got the gist of this video. But what we do want to do, so I'm going to go over to, they got the latest, so we're going to go over to that. And let me pull that up. So let's go over into here, as you can see. So let's go over to this article. So this is the latest that we've gotten, the latest confirmed information. 2 people dead, 1 person rescued, and 10 people injured. In addition to the 2 people who have died, 10 people were taken to the local area hospital, according to the U.S. Steel and county officials. We are also told that the 2 medics were taken to the hospital for evaluation. Officials also say that multiple people were treated at the scene. Oh, Jesus, see? Bless you. Thank you. Let's see. But exactly, hold on, where is that? We're also told, but officials also say that multiple people were treated at the scene, but an exact number of those treated was not immediately listed. 5 of those people who were taken to the Jefferson Hills for treatment following the explosion has been released. So that's the location. It was previously reported that, get this out of the way. It was previously reported that 2 people were unaccounted for, but officials said that during 3 p.m. press conference Monday, that 1 person was rescued and transported to the local hospital. We are still engaged in the incident. Our focus is continued on searching for 1 person who remains unaccounted for. Another press briefing was held at 9 p.m. where officials said the second victim was found dead. Brown said that the medical examiner was called to the scene and is working to notify the family members. Officials say that the search and rescue has now come to an end. Brown says 20 EMS agencies and 14 local fire departments were called to the scene to assist in the rescue efforts. Officials were first dispatched to the scene before 11 a.m. Officials said that the plant is now stable and the fire marshal is investigating. No additional details to the extent of injuries. And then we talked about, Commonwealth. But as we see, so the breakdown, 2 people died from this incident. And then 1 person was rescued who was trapped under the rubble. And then 10 people injured in total. Tragic. People just going to work people are in the steel plant to make some money, provide for their families, and you never know. Steel work or any kind of factory work can be dangerous. We got to be honest about that. Any kind of steel work or any kind of factory work in general can be very dangerous. Now, we got to pray for the family of the 2 people who died. Pray for the people who were injured. Hopefully they can get back to work because we got to provide for their families. Hopefully, or at least some kind of money that they can help sustain them until they are able to get back and get to work. But that's a tragic scene. It's sad that 2 people lost their lives, but these are the things we got to review. We have to review these things and talk about them together. So keep everybody's up to date. But tell me if you worked in a steel plant, if you worked in any kind of factory, was there any kind of danger that scared you? How good were they about the safety? I'll be seeing the skits all the time about people working in the production factory. They'd be like, we got to hit production no matter what. But it's a tragic scene, but like I said, we got to pray for the 2 people who lost their lives and pray for the injured people, pray for their family. Absolutely crazy. But that all broke out from a fire. That all started from a fire. So this next thing over in Maryland, a house fire ended up killing 6 people. Yes, over. So we're going to go over to Maryland now and see what all that's about. Fires are so deadly, but let's get right into it and see what it's talking about. See what it is talking about. Where is that? Hold on. See, it's starting to mess up. Let's get into it.
Developing down in Charles County, 6 people dead, including 4 children, after that massive fire tore through a home yesterday in Waldorf. Officials say it is the deadliest fire in Maryland in more than a decade. Let's get to Maureen Ume. She's back on the scene for us this morning.
Fire in more than a decade.
Good morning. Well, officials are focusing on the front porch area, actually the right enclosed area there. That is where they believe the fire may have started. An investigation ongoing. As you said, 6 people died in this fire, 2 adults, 4 children. Their names and ages have not been released. Neighbors are devastated by this tragedy.
For it to be in our neighborhood is just, it's heartbreaking. It's very devastating. And to find out that
hold on. We had to pause it there. That is absolutely crazy. Jesus. And to think 2 adults and 4 kids died in this. God, that's scary. I wonder what caused it.
Actually, people have passed up there. It's like, I've never seen anything like that in my life.
Well, the home on the 3000 block of North Declaration Court went up in flames Sunday morning just before 9 o'clock with the family trapped inside. 9 people lived there. 2 were not home at the time. 1 person escaped. The other 6, which included 4 children and 2 adults, did not survive. It took firefighters nearly an hour to put out the flames. Now, the state fire marshal's office says that the cause of the fire is not yet clear, but that they found no evidence to suggest it was intentionally set. The devastation even brought first responders to tears.
We're not going to pause it too much, but it's crazy to think that we have to discuss that and have to look into if it was intentionally set. That is a crazy thing, but it's the world we live in. But let's keep going.
With the loss of life, this is pretty devastating. Yes, it's devastating.
That's all you can say.
And it absolutely just shattering to even see it now, hours later. It is shattering to see this house devastated. One firefighter was injured, taken to the hospital for treatment. Fire officials using this tragedy as a reminder, a very sad reminder that everyone should have working smoke detectors. They don't believe the home had any working smoke detectors. So again, reminding people to have smoke detectors in their home. Make sure that they're working. Make sure you check it, and also have an escape plan in place in case you unfortunately find yourself in a situation where fire has erupted in your home. Let me step aside again so you can look at the house behind me, just devastated by flames. Again, officials focusing on that front side porch and enclosed area where they believe the fire started. The investigation ongoing, but right now, this is it, a devastated community mourning the loss of 6 people in this home. Back to you.
Absolutely crazy. Now let's go into an article where it listed out. I'm just now finding this, so let's see if it tells us any more information about what all happened. So let's see, let's get into it. So let's get right from it. So like we talked about, 6 people, 4 children, 2 adults died in a house fire Sunday in Maryland. The blaze was reported around 8:40 a.m. No cause have been learned immediately. They're not listing the names. This fire appears to be one of the deadliest in the Washington region in many years. In all of 2023, only one house fire anywhere in the United States has a death toll equally as high. Wow. According to the National Fire Protection Association. The trauma of fatal fires is deepening when they result in multiple deaths and deaths of children. Yes. I can't. It said there was 9 people in the house in total and 6 of them died. Absolutely crazy. As of Sunday night, no evidence of any criminal act have been discovered. The investigation, however, has determined that the place where the blaze broke out, it originated within the enclosed porch at the side of the house. The fire marshals officially said that the statement released late Sunday. As of Monday afternoon, the fire marshal's office was still trying to figure out whether any smoke alarms in the home went off during the fire. Yes, you have to, let's be honest, we make sure that your smoke detectors and smoke alarms are up to date and are working, because that is the one step into at least helping people wake up during the fire or be alerted so they can get out the house. Absolutely crazy. Let's see. In addition, the fire department, firefighters, several other departments responded to the 300 block of North Declarton Court. It took about 70 firefighters around an hour to put out the flames, said the spokesman from the fire marshal's office. One of the firefighters went to the hospital for a medical emergency and was treated and released. Another was treated at the scene for injuries. Firefighting is a very deadly job, a very heroic job as well, but you are risking your life. Anything like that, you're risking your life, and we got to give our props to the people and support them. We have to support them. Initial reports indicates that there was entrapment. The fire deputies who reached the house first tried to enter it, but were prevented by heavy smoke and flames. The fire marshal said photographers show a house engulfed in flames, which leaked well above the roof line. Later pictures indicate that the house was nearly destroyed. It's about 25 miles from U.S. Capitol Building, Charles County, in which the city lies. It has a population of 1,700, with many of the residents having jobs in Washington. Absolutely crazy. But like always with any of this stuff, we have to pray for the family, because 6 family members was lost, and it's a terrible scene. It's a truly, truly terrible scene. Wow. I remember when I was younger, a fire broke out in our house. It was from the stove. My cousin was doing something, trying to make some kind of food. She was young. She was probably about 18, something like that. She was trying to cook some food on the stove. Next thing you know, a flame broke out. And then she did the worst thing with a grease fire. She threw some water on it. I mean, young kid doesn't know, and it's spreading. Luckily, it was able to be put out, but the house needed to be repaired. Now, it wasn't too bad, but it was still a scary sight. Still very scary. I can't imagine the feeling of being trapped in a house, because you just wake up coughing, scared, worried about your kids. It's a tragic scene, but like always, we got to pray for the family and hope that they can find some closure, and hopefully we learn later on what actually happened. But absolutely wild. Praying for them. We just got to keep praying for them. But I want to talk about that because yes, we had the fire in the steel plant. We had the fire in the Maryland home that took some lives. So fires are very deadly, and we have to be careful. I don't know what caused it. It could have been electric. They said it started from the enclosed porch. Maybe they had a space heater or something. We never know what could have happened, but we got to be careful anytime dealing with electronics, or a lot of times it's doing from space heaters and electronics. It's probably too hot for a space heater, but you never know what could have happened. Never know what could have happened. Just keep the family in your prayers, and and hopefully they'll be able to get through it and deal with their grief. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. But that was it for that video. We had to look into that and see what it was talking about. So the next thing we're going to pivot over into, okay, we had to talk about this. So it looks like there are teens that are carjacking ride shares. And the one teen that was arrested was just released the day before, and he went back to do it again. Let's hear what these people got to say about it. Let's get right into it.
Now in the city, a 16-year-old is in custody. He's been busted 2 nights in a row, police say, for leading officers on chases. And both times, they tell us he was driving a stolen car that was taken from a rideshare driver at gunpoint. This latest carjacking happened around 2 this morning in North City near Carter and Newstead. And the carjacking the night before occurred north of there around Newstead and Carter. First Alert 4 Shoshana Stahl has been following.
Okay, hold on. There's something we got to say. Hold on. Now, they just said that this teen, 16-year-old, this is his second time in 2 days. So each day he's gotten arrested. How did he get out? That's my first question. Why is he out and about? This man robbed a car at gunpoint and went on a joyride? And you let him out the next day? Now, I might be heard it wrong. I might have heard it wrong, but sounds like that's what it said to me. You mean to tell me a teen can steal a car at gunpoint and then get out the next day to do it again? And this is why teens and young adults who commit crimes are still doing it, because the punishment is not severe enough. If the punishment was severe, they would not go back and do these crimes, is what I like to think. But if you commit these type of crimes, you need to stay in jail long enough to where you learn your lesson. Or not even learn just the appropriate amount of time because of the crime you committed. You robbed someone at gunpoint to take their vehicle. I thought that was a serious offense. Or is it no longer a serious offense now? Is it no longer a serious offense to to carjack someone at gunpoint? Come on now. What is happening with the world? Or what is happening with the law enforcement? Or it's not even the law enforcement. It's the courts. And what is happening with the courts to where a kid can rob a car at gunpoint and then get out the next day to do it again? Please tell me they're not going to let him out again. You do it in 2 days? And nah, that can't be. I refuse to lose that much faith in our court system. And then I can't imagine what the officers are feeling. Because the officers, they did all that work to catch him. And then he gets out the next day and do it again. They got to catch him again. Absolutely crazy. But let's keep going into this video.
Shoshana Stahl has been following this story for us. And Shoshana, even police say they're getting frustrated at the criminal justice system.
What did I say?
Lauren, they are. And at this hour, police tell me they're looking for the other kids involved in this latest carjacking. They ran from police this morning. Today's crime happened around 2 a.m. and that's well after curfew for teens. Police say they're looking into potentially citing the parents. But after 2 nights in a row of being targeted, rideshare drivers say this just reinforces their safety concerns.
All right, hold on. We got you. I just released a video. Go watch that if you haven't. But they in one of these towns, I can't remember the exact town name, but they are passing. I think they are working on passing laws to where bad children who constantly commit crimes are going to be the parents of them are going to be either charged or fined, and depending on the severity of the crime that they keep committing, they can spend up to 30 days in jail. I hope that if that happens, that'll get these parents to start whooping their kids again, or at least disciplining them correctly so that they won't do it again. But maybe it might be too late. After a certain age, the discipline is not going to work anymore. At least that's my feeling. That is my feeling. And then they can't kick them out because they're too young. So there's nothing else. I don't know what they can do. Be honest, I don't know what they can do. Absolutely crazy. Let's keep going.
Nothing's going to change when there are zero consequences.
Rideshare driver David Woods is frustrated and disheartened to hear another driver was held at gunpoint by teens and then carjacked.
Even though you're a kid, your actions still have very, very real consequences.
St. Louis police say around 2 a.m. Thursday, a Lyft driver picked up several teens at North Newstead and Carter in North City. While driving, one of the passengers held a gun to the driver and demanded he get out of the car. At some point, the car was found and police started chasing. The 16-year-old driver taken into custody and remains there. Police say the kid is the same driver from the carjacking of an Uber driver turned police pursuit Tuesday night.
If they are committing the crimes at 16, who knows what they will be doing at 26 if they make it to 26.
These two crimes happening only a mile apart from each other. The 4 juveniles involved in the first carjacking were released to their guardians.
I think they're frustrated for the victims who don't have to be victims. There was a 36-year-old man last night that did not have to have a gun put to the back of his head. Our officers see this. They see it, they feel the pain, they feel the trauma that a victim goes through, and they see how easily preventable it could have been.
In Missouri.
So you got to think, because some people are going to try to blame the cops. No, it's not the cops' fault. It's the court's fault. You mean to tell me that he commits 4 teens, 4, this is the first one now, the 4 teens commits a robbery, holding a gun to someone's head, demanding that they get out the vehicle. And then they get arrested. And then they are released to their family? What? No. Oh my God. I don't understand. I truly don't understand what's happening. And then one of the kids does it again. Now, I don't know if it's one or multiple kids do it again, but it's all within the block radius. So you know that is their comfort zone. I mean, I've watched all the crime. I watched a lot of crime shows growing up. If they commit crimes in a multiple area, that is their comfort zone. And you mean to tell me they're just going to be released again? But they said they're still in custody, so we can't say that they're going to be released again. But why was they released in the first place? I'm still on that. Why were they released in the first place? Maybe it is good that the parents might be, that in some of these counties that parents might be get charged for their bad kids, because what else can they do? You need to raise your kids better. You truly need to raise your kids better. Like I said, now here, I've always asked this question dealing with teens and kids. Is it nature or nurture? Are there some just bad kids out there? Or is it that it's all dependent on how they are raised? Now, those are some questions. Let me know what your thoughts are.
There's a point system to charge juveniles and a certain amount of points needed to be held on that crime.
The SLMPD would support if somebody takes a good look and review of the entire juvenile point system that is in place.
Yeah, point system?
Because these are kids committing very dangerous crimes that is going to kill someone.
Why didn't, when you released him out to his parents after just committing a violent crime, carjacking somebody, shooting at somebody, why didn't you just give him a cookie too and just you know, there you go, slap on the hand, don't do it no more.
So you mean to tell me that they have to, like a game, they gotta only so many points after you get actually serious crimes. If it's below those number of points, then you get to go home. Nah. Like I said before, big boy crimes need big boy time. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't care how old he is. If he commits a crime when he's old enough to know right from wrong, then he needs to be in jail. You can't do oh yeah, well, he's still under the point range, so he's not that bad. No, you first crime, you need to be in jail. Points. What is a point system for how long? How before you can seriously arrest a teenager? Nah. Big boy crimes need big boy time. Let's finish up this video. Absolutely.
Like I said, police are still looking for the other teens who were part of the carjacking of the Lyft driver earlier this morning. That includes going through body camera footage and dash camera footage to look at the teens who were arrested the day prior for that same crime against an Uber driver. In the newsroom, Shoshana Stahl, First Alert 4.
All right.
Absolutely crazy. I can't imagine. Let's go back to that map. Hold on.
Each other.
So, like I said, it's a mile difference from the first crime where 4 people held someone at gunpoint and told them to give the car a ride share, an Uber driver basically. And then the next day after they got out, one of the kids do it again. Absolutely crazy, man. Yeah. If kids are already robbing people at gunpoint, man, throw the book at them. Honestly, throw the book at them. What is the point of giving them points? And oh no, they only have 5 points. They need to get to 10 before we actually arrest them. That's stupid. That's so stupid. But man, I mean, the juveniles, it seems like that juvenile system or juvenile crime system in their city or county needs to be updated. I don't know I don't know who thought of the point system. Maybe some of these kids are too bad nowadays. What's the point system going to do? It's only going to be like, I can still commit crimes before I get seriously charged. That's literally what they're thinking. That is what they are thinking. At least that's my thoughts. But like I said, tell me your thoughts now. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if you agree with the point system. Maybe you think it's a good idea. But how can someone be robbed at gunpoint to get out the car, get into a car chase, get arrested, and then get sent to their guardians the next day? And then obviously the guardians didn't do anything, or the parents didn't do anything, because one of the kids was back out there doing it again. Nah, charge the kid and honestly charge the parents. If the parent isn't going to care about what their kid doing, charge them. That'll get them to stop. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Tell me your thoughts on that, because I wasn't expecting that. The day before? Nah, man. There's no need for that. You basically just, the second driver, all of this could have been avoided. All of this could have been avoided. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now we're going to pivot. So this body cam footage we're going to go into next is basically the title of this video was Evil Teacher. Basically, evil teacher abuses a 7-year-old and they're confronting the teacher about it. I don't understand why a teacher would abuse a child. I would think that teachers, their whole reason you would want to be a teacher is because you want to protect and teach the children. But you abuse kids? Absolutely crazy. Let's jump right over into this video and see what it's talking about.
Today on Uncovered.
Are you gonna let me talk, or are you gonna keep talking over me? You dragging a kid.
On August 8th, 2024, at Maria Yates School in Madison, Illinois, officer arrested a teacher's aide after she was seen on camera kicking and dragging a first-grade student down the hallway. She barely shows any remorse when confronted, but becomes visibly distressed when she realizes she's going to jail.
How you doing? I'm good. How are you? Good. Let's go inside and talk for a minute. Is there a 5 on this door for us to get in? Over here. All right. What about this one over here?
It might be one. I don't know what this is.
I'm getting some information that there was an incident that took place today in the hallway. I'm gathering more information on that. But until I do that, which I'm getting now, I need you to sit tight and you're not going to be free to leave right now. But that's what the incident that took place in the hallway with one of the students.
Correct, but what am I being detained for?
I just told you because of the incident that took place in the hallway with one of the students.
I understand that. I understand that.
So that's why you're being detained. That's why you're not free to go, because I'm looking into this matter.
Okay, but for what though? I'm trying to understand what's being investigated.
The incident of what took place.
Right, the incident of what took place.
Yes,
I understand that, but
okay.
What is being investigated with the
That you
incident?
dragged the kid.
Okay.
Do you feel as if that was appropriate?
To chase a student down to get into class?
And then what happened from there?
I put him in the classroom. He laid out on the floor, but I did put him. I put him in.
Did you drag him?
I had a hand on him, absolutely, and he was resisting. Yes, I didn't drag him though.
Hold on. Let's pause it for a second. You mean you didn't drag him, but he was resisting, and you forced him in the classroom? That doesn't make sense. Absolutely doesn't make sense.
I need to look further into, but I'm going to tell you preliminary. It looks as if you drugged him, and then it also looks like there was a kick involved.
A kick?
Yes.
Did you kick a kid?
So this is crazy.
So for right now, I'm going to sit in here.
And can I ask who asked for it to be investigated?
It's involving a kid.
Well, no, I understand that, but I'm just asking.
District administration.
Okay.
This is coming from the top.
Am I allowed to have my mother?
How old are you?
I'm 26.
Okay.
She's in the building.
Have her what?
Huh?
Have her what? Like
Have
with
her.
you?
Yes.
No, she can obviously be in the building. We're not going to stay in here right now.
I'm not allowed to have. You're 26.
I would rather it be discussed in front of everybody else, so I have somebody else witness to the conversation.
Well, there's a big witness right here that's being recorded.
Okay.
There will be another officer here momentarily, but unfortunately,
I never understood why people ask for their mothers. They're grown.
I can't be on the phone because I'm being detained.
Being detained, she's not free to go, but obviously don't have her in handcuffs right now. Okay, cool. She can't be on the phone, can't make contact with anybody.
I have you on speakerphone. I have Officer Brady here.
I believe charges against this instructional assistant would be warranted. Is that something that you would want on behalf of your son?
Yeah, if he did something to hurt him or something he wasn't supposed to do, yeah.
Okay. I don't
know the full details because I just came to work.
No, I understand.
So I haven't got home yet to see my son. When I take a break, I'm going to go home. Actually, I'm going to call my daughter phone so I can try to talk to him.
Okay.
Because he didn't get off the bus until after I'm obviously at work.
Okay.
So I don't know the full details, but I want to know.
Well, we're at a point now that I think I would be taking her into custody prior to me taking action.
Yes.
Okay.
I am.
This is what's getting ready to happen, young lady. You're getting ready to be taken into custody. You're going to be charged with at least 1 count of battery and probably child endangerment. I will go over more with what exactly the charges will be when I get to the station. This officer is going to put you in handcuffs. She's going to obviously pat you down. She's going to transport you through the intake process when we get to the station. When you all get to the station, I'm going to finish talking to building administration and district administration, and then I'll be also a parent of the child. You have any questions for me?
No.
Go ahead and put your hands behind your back.
So when you go in there, tell her you arrested me too.
I just gotta check, make sure you don't have any weapons or any objects that we can't have.
Having your ID will help expedite this process. Are you good if I get it from your mom?
Not unless you want to tell her that you arrested me.
You're an adult.
I don't care if I'm an adult.
What are you talking
Sit
about?
overnight then. I'm trying to help you out, young lady. Hold on. I've been nothing but cool with you.
You barely explained
I did explain to you. I did explain.
You're talking about an incident in
That
the
took
hallway.
place.
You dragged the kid and you
more
kicked
details,
him.
and you're like an incident in the hallway, an incident in the hallway, an incident in the hallway. I'm
And
asking for
then-
more details
then
than you keep saying. An incident.
Are you gonna let me talk, or are you gonna keep talking over me?
I wasn't done talking. You were trying to cut me off, but I'm done. Don't worry about it. I'm done.
I explained it was an incident with you dragging a kid. I stated that twice. You know exactly the
After
incident.
I asked for clarification.
Okay, and when I knew that, okay, but when I knew that, I explained that to you.
But I had to ask more.
Okay, it doesn't matter how many times. Did you get the information? Did you receive the information you were looking for? I told you I was investigating an incident that I was informed of. I told you I needed to get more details. So I'm going to ask you this part one more time. Having your ID will help expedite this. Do you want me to get it from your mom, or would you like to sit in jail longer?
Actually, it's in my car. Now I'm thinking about it. It's not even in there. So
You mind doing
my
a lot.
purse is in the car. So
You mind doing
my
that?
car.
Does your mom have access to that?
If she has my keys, yeah.
Does she have your keys?
She might, yeah.
Okay.
I don't know because I let my sisters drive my car, so I don't know if she has my keys or if my sisters took my car.
Okay, all right. You mind live?
Yeah, I was gonna do that anyway.
Okay.
I'll walk with you though.
Hey.
Hold on. Have a seat. I gotta go chin, okay?
What's happening up there?
During class today, or during the day, 2:45, the student reported to me that a lady in brown dragged him and kicked him. Upon investigation and viewing of the camera footage, we can see on the cameras that she does inappropriately drag the student down the hallway approximately 10-15 feet, pushes him into the classroom,
Hello.
and kicks him. What is she dragging him by? His clothes,
His
and
arm,
his arm.
His arm and his collar.
His arm and the
See, if he's not going to listen, why you just let him? Why don't you just let him go?
Kind of holding the kid first.
On the leg. He was on the ground.
It looks like he has his arm around him, like this.
He explained pain on his elbow. He said that his head was hurting. His response was that because class was boring. So he elopes. He has an IEP. So he leaves the classroom space often. He stated that he left the classroom space because he was bored. However, right before the incident was reported, we did hear a call from one teacher to the person who dragged him to over the walkie. She's not assigned to him.
There we go.
I don't know why that call was made to her, but a person called for her to respond to him being outside the classroom.
Did you speak with your son?
Yes.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he was saying that his arm was hurting.
Did you see him at all?
I haven't seen him. I haven't been home because I had to go to work. So he don't get off the bus until after I'm already gone. So my daughter was there. So he was telling her what happened. When I called, she put him on the phone.
And what did he tell you?
He said that she threw him against the wall. She dragged him in class and then she kicked him in the class. He said he don't know if she was kicking his leg so she can shut the door. I don't know if he was not letting her shut the door or what. I don't know. But that's what he told me. So I'm assuming if that happened in the hallway, the pulling and the other stuff, they got cameras. They should be able to see that. But in the class, he said that she kicked him.
Did he say how many times?
No, I didn't ask him anything. She said she was kicking me.
After you get your ID out, you were able to get him on the phone?
He was telling me she looked like a boy or something. I don't know the person. I don't know the name. I don't know how they look. He was trying to describe the person to me, but I don't even know who that is. He told me he was trying to get some water and he wanted to say hi to the coach. And I'm like, but if you're supposed to be in class, you should be in class. But people working in schools and working with people, I'm sure you are trying to deal with kids, not to drag them and kick them. You know, that's...
I mean, obviously, I don't know.
I don't understand why she thought it was like, I'm not going to, if a kid don't want to learn, I guess... I'm most recently out of college, so if you don't want to learn, the teacher's not going to do anything. It's your money you paying, but there's no need. If he doesn't want to learn, I'm not going to force him to learn. Maybe that's just my thinking, but absolutely.
No, I didn't see much of the preceding. What I saw they were standing in the hallway. Your son was another kid, and then I believe it was 3 adults. And they were walking down. They stopped to have a little bit of a conversation. Then, for whatever reason, your son starts to run. As she said, she starts running behind him. She catches up to him, grabs him by like the collar of the shirt. The way it appears, obviously, I'm not there. I can't hear. And you see it, but the way it appears, the momentum for catching up to him and grabbing him by the shirt, I think is what actually made him fall to the ground. It's not as if she picks him up and throws him down or, does one of those motions. I think it was she was running, grabbed him, and then the momentum of her trying to bring him back, he hit the ground based on that. Unfortunately, after he does hit the ground, she doesn't stop with him and just hold him or come. Right. She continues down the hallway. Yes, by the shirt in the arm area. Get to the classroom, opens the classroom door. She gets to the door, kind of, I'm not going to say throws him in, but kind of swings him into the classroom. She's still on the ground, legs closer to the door. I do believe in it. If he's very observant and aware of what's happening, for him to say that he thinks that he was kicked because she was trying to get the leg in, because that's what I believe, and that's what I think that school admin believes too for the initial. But it appears as if there was another kick. I can't tell if it actually makes contact. We just see the leg motion. Because obviously there's no classroom, of a kick in motion.
But even if you're trying to get a kid in class, why are you kicking him?
No,
It's a way she could call the guys, Mr. Hunter, anybody to come help. Like, you kicking him like he a dog saying get in the class. Like, he is bad. My son is on medication. He got ADHD. I gave him the medication this morning. I don't know what.
Did she say he is bad? Hold on. Backed it up a tad bit. Did she say he is bad?
Even if you're trying to get a kid in class, why are you kicking him?
No,
It's a way she could call the guys, Mr. Hunter, anybody to come help. Like, you kicking him like he a dog saying get in the class. Like, he is bad. My son is on medication. He got ADHD. I gave him the medication this morning. I don't know what time that happened, but I know the teacher was telling me probably after 1, close to 2, it wears off. So I don't know what time he started being.
That was in that. It was
Okay,
about
so the
1:30.
medicine probably started wild then because he get it. I give him right before he get on his bus. So by the time he gets to school, he kick in and then can last. But, expecting him to run his legs. Dragging him and kicking him, that's going too far. They are trying, just like I am. I work with people, I work in a nursing home, even at schools. You are trained to work because you got different kind of people, different kind of kids. You do not drag them. You do not kick them. If they being like that already, you might have to step back for a moment. Not let them hurt themselves, but go get help. They have walkie-talkies, they call each other. So I don't even know this person, and I don't even understand. Even his teacher, she deals with him. She know how to put him in his place. That's why I love the class he's in. He's on the honor roll now, and he's not running out to school like he used to. She know how to deal with him. She black, and she know how to talk to him to get him to do
I don't like that. She drags him. Like I said, catches him out here. Classroom is back over here. It's a wall there. So she drags him down the hallway. Like she goes into the doorway of the classroom, and everything else is happening here. No, right. So these people I know wouldn't have been able to see this. Now the drag, if they continue to watch, I probably would have saw that, but I can't say for sure. But I don't know what they were doing after they started running. And
absolutely crazy. We understand most of that.
And as far as the people in the classroom, the young lady immediately made sure she didn't leave while I finished getting the rest of the information. And that's when I called you. I was hoping you were going to say, I was figuring you would say you would want to pursue charges on this, but obviously I have to hear that from you versus your son. And when she said yes, she was taken into custody.
So what did she say?
I have not had a chance to. I only briefly spoke with her. I spoke with her when I first told her she was being detained. I let her know, being detained. I'm in the process of investigating the incident in the hallway. And then she said, "Well, what incident?" It were a little more detailed, but she is in custody. She is going to be charged, looking at possibly 2 charges. You are going to be charged. You're looking at we have the charge based on only what we see in the video. So with that being said, you're going to go back in the cell right now. I'm going to, like I said, call him, and then hopefully fairly shortly.
Dion L. Gamble was arrested following the incident and later charged with 2 counts of battery and 1 count of endangering the life or health of a child.
See, that I don't understand why she even maybe that's something in lower education now, but I don't understand why. If he doesn't want to learn, I'm not going to force him to come back to the classroom and drag him back. She a young 26-year-old teacher. Nah, man, she just made she made a stupid decision at the end of the day, trying to do that and kicking him. Nah, I'm not going to, and she said she wasn't even responsible for him. That's where it gets all out of whack. If you're not responsible for the kid, then I'm not even going to do all that. But tell me your thoughts. Do you think she was an evil teacher? I think she was a stupid teacher. Because you can't do that because the parents, there's something you can't do. Come on now. You can't drag a kid back. You can't kick them even if you're trying to close the door. You can't, there's things you cannot do. I think she made a stupid choice and she's got to pay for it. I don't know if I would call her evil. But I don't know how many times she kicked her. If she kicked him, if she wasn't kicking him just to get his leg and she just wanted to kick him, yeah, that's some evil stuff. Evil stuff, but and it's only a 7-year-old too, so I'm not gonna do all that. I can't imagine. But like I said, tell me your thoughts. Do you think she was an evil teacher? I think she was a stupid teacher. I think she's a bad teacher. I don't know if I would call that evil. But if she truly just wanted to kick the child, yes, that's definitely evil. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If she was trying to really kick the kid, absolutely crazy. There's no no rhyme or reason for that, and she deserves to be in jail. There's no simple way. It's nothing more simple than that. If you kick a kid, come on now, in school, you deserve to be in jail. There's nothing you can say about that. But absolutely wild. Let me know your thoughts on that. Do you think she was evil or not? Would you drag a kid back into the classroom if he just didn't want to be there? It doesn't make sense to me, but maybe that's something to do with elementary and younger kids. It was very, yes, I feel the same way. That's very weird. It was very weird, but absolutely crazy. I can't. Yeah, well, she in jail now for endanger. She got endangering the child. Now it's gonna be hard for her to get a teaching job now. So I don't know. It was work, and then she started. She's 26 and started asking for her mom. I truly hate that. Why are you a grown adult asking for your mother? You are old enough to handle whatever's happening by yourself. Maybe she thinks her mother can get her out of this, but I don't know, man. That's absolutely crazy to me. But now we're gonna pivot over into this another video that I seen that caught my attention. The title of this one was "A Cyclist Fights Off a Kidnapper." Yes, I said it. A cyclist fights off a kidnapper. So let's jump over right into that video and see what it's talking about.
Here in Richland County tonight, the sheriff warning residents of the release of a man who was arrested on charges of kidnapping a local woman. Our Shelley Garzone has the story. And we do want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see could be graphic.
In my eyes, she's a hero. She's somebody that, I think most women need to look at, that didn't give up and fought for her safety in her life. And, she's hurt, but she's alive.
This was the aftermath of a recent attack on a Columbia woman on Miles Road. Investigators say the victim was riding her bicycle when a vehicle hit her. The driver of the vehicle then turned around and came back to where she was lying in the road. According to deputies, the suspect, 24-year-old Timothy Yulness, got out of the vehicle and hit the woman in the face before placing her in a chokehold.
Hold on now. We got to back that up and just look at him a little bit, because absolutely crazy. Let's see.
Got out of the vehicle and
Jesus. Timothy I'm not even gonna try to say that name. Well, this is the face of a kidnapper, y'all. And he deserves it. But any like I said before, anybody who's kidnapping women, children, kids, and I don't know what he was thinking about kidnapping her for, but you know it's something crazy. So hey, put him under the jail.
Hit the woman in the face before placing her in a chokehold. They say he then tried to drag her into his vehicle, but the victim fought back and got away.
He's a danger to our community.
Oh, yeah.
I would hope everybody in the Columbia area looks at his picture and recognizes who he is and understands that he's dangerous.
Yulness was released on a $100,000 surety bond. He must also wear an ankle monitor, something the sheriff does not agree with.
And that's one thing that we asked for when our investigators worked this case and talked to the judge who set the bond, is that he was a danger. We explained all of that, and we asked that he would be held with no bond. Unfortunately, $100,000 bond was set on him. He immediately got out.
With many residents questioning.
You mean to tell me you try to kidnap somebody, you can still get bond? You can still get bond after you try to kidnap somebody. Absolutely crazy.
How someone can be released after a crime of this nature, I sat down with attorney Jack Swirling to explain the factors of setting a bond.
Danger to the community and a risk of flight are the big factors. Prior record is a big factor. And the nature of the crime itself.
Swirling says the use of GPS ankle monitors has become more common to ensure someone released is staying in the area and away from victims.
The basis of the revocation of the bond is that when you sign a bond, you're agreeing to keep the peace. You're agreeing not to be rearrested. So if you get rearrested, there's a good chance that a judge is going to revoke your earlier bond, number one. Number two, there are certain crimes now, if you're out on bond for certain crimes and you get arrested for a list of other crimes, you're not entitled to bond at all. You're going to be staying in jail. There's no way to get bond.
The Sheriff's Department encourages the public to stay vigilant, always be aware of your surroundings, and travel in pairs.
If he does do this again, it's not on us. We did our job. We found him.
System.
We arrested him. The court system let him out.
Yeah.
So that's on the court system.
Shelly Garzone, News 19, WLTX.
Now we just talked about this. Now we just talked about this. You gotta we want to see his picture again. We just talked about this. It's the court systems. If you let a criminal out, bond or not, if they do something crazy like kidnapping, and you let him out, you can't blame the police if he does something wrong. They told you that he's a danger to the community. They told you that he does not need bond. But I don't know what the judge was thinking, but I'm assuming whoever the judge was had some rhyme or reason about releasing him or giving him bond, $100,000. But that's $100,000. That's $10,000 he had to come up with. Absolutely crazy. Now, like I said, ladies, you have to be careful out there because there are some sick individuals out there. You got to be careful. I've heard schemes of they'll put a bottle under your tire. They'll put a flyer on it. It's got some kind of drug on it that automatically drugs you. And then they just going to drag you away. You have to be careful and keep your head on the swivel. You truly do, because you never know what someone is capable of. She was just riding her bike. And it's some random Timothy. So Timothy runs up and hits her. And then automatically goes up and tries to put her in a chokehold and then takes her away. How do you think he was? I don't know, man. Some people are stupid. I've said this before. Some people are truly stupid. Truly stupid and horrible human beings at that. He needed to be in jail. He needed to be in jail. And then they're going to be like, oh, then I don't understand, because some of these people, I hate it when they get released on bond and then they end up committing another crime. Just like that kid we just talked about who was carjacking ride shares. He got released the day before. And then he went out and robbed somebody again, a car share, at gunpoint. Put a gun to their head and took him again the next day. He was a teen and got released. I'm assuming because he was a teen. They got some weird point system, but y'all go back and rewind it a little bit and you can see what I'm talking about. We not going. Yes, he something to do with Diddy. He was doing some crazy things. You already know he had some crazy things in mind. You're kidnapping a woman. Some people are sick individuals. And deserve to be in jail, under the jail. And then these are the type of people I always like to say, after they die, take their ashes and put them in the cell too. They need to stay in there and then we all good. Absolutely crazy. There's no need. I'm still with the fact that why he got bond. Why give him bond? A lot of people will say, well, bond is not meant to hold you, keep you in jail. Some people need to be kept in jail to court. An ankle monitor? If someone truly wanted to get out the way, they are going to cut the ankle monitor and they'll be gone. They're not going to get there fast enough to stop him. He would leave. And then if he kidnapped somebody else, what are we going to say? Oh, my bad. Oh, he didn't meet the needs to not have bond. The officers told you he was a danger to the society. If someone's out here kidnapping women, come on now. He is a danger to the society. The danger to the public. I don't understand it, man. I truly don't. Tell me if you think I'm wrong. Tell me if you think that you can see where he could get bond, where he had the right to get bond. Get bond. Absolutely crazy, man. Truly crazy. Luckily, she was able. She was luckily able to fight him off.
The aftermath of a recent attack on a Columbia woman on Miles Road.
Luckily, she was able to fight off. That is a strong woman right there. That is a very strong woman. Let's see. Beyond, yes, you're right. I'm right with you. It is beyond me. This is a strong woman. She fought for her life. She had to, because you don't know what could have happened. Well, we have an idea of what could have happened, but let's not speak that into existence. That is crazy. People are some sick individuals. People are truly sick. Truly sick. And hopefully, he actually abides by the bond, doesn't do anything else, and just goes to court. But if he gets out, or if he tries to run away, you can't blame the police. You got to blame the court system. You have to blame the court system. But like I said, tell me your thoughts. We wanted to watch that video. I wanted to watch that video and just, oh my God. The world is getting crazier and crazier by the day. But like I say all the time, we got to review the world together, y'all. We got to review the world together. Absolutely crazy. Some sick individuals in this world. Some truly sick individuals in this world. Now, people are crazy. Absolutely wild. But let's pivot over into this next thing we're getting into. So I saw this and I was shocked. USPS, United States Postal Service. So right now, they're going through some kind of fraud case for worth $1 million. So let's jump over right into that and see what we got. And let's see what kind of craziness is happening with the United States Postal Service. Absolutely wild. Let's get into it.
A United States Postal Service contractor in Somerville accused of scamming employees and investors out of more than $1 million. Investigators say it was a multi-year-long scheme involving delivery route contracting for USPS and Amazon.
Shakur Muhammad Johnson is at the center of multiple civil lawsuits and financial disputes across several states, leaving devastated households behind.
Live 5's investigative reporter Emily Johnson tells us the impact that goes far beyond lost dollars.
He truly was an amazing man, and I was proud to just be his wife, that he chose me, you know?
Like, I can really go on and on. This guy was Superman.
Keith Mackey, a man known for putting his community first, spreading laughter, love, and light to the people around him.
He's funny, he's loving, he's gonna make you believe that everything is okay, but behind our doors, my husband was struggling, and it was heartbreaking to help him.
Keith filed a lawsuit claiming it all began when he met Shakur Muhammad Johnson, and the two entered into a business agreement in 2023. Lawsuits state Johnson was working as a contracted employee for USPS in Somerville, an independent contractor who helps deliver and collect mail on specific routes. Plaintiffs in the suit claim Johnson approached USPS employees and nearby investors with a business proposition: sign a contract, help fund his business by adding more routes, drivers, and resources to his already existing agreement with USPS, and investors would get a percentage of the profits. Felicia's husband was one of Johnson's investors and says, according to a lawsuit, put over $300,000 into Johnson's hands, which she says they never saw again.
My husband he felt defeated because he did all that he could. He was in a rough place mentally, he was. Nobody saw that because he's going to be Keith.
Keith took his own life in March of this year, leaving his already financially devastated family broken. His lawsuit dismissed.
I just miss him. I don't know.
And Johnson, they say, vanished, along with the $300,000 Keith invested in good faith.
Yeah, he's a scammer.
He ruined my family. He did. He has to pay for what he did.
I want to try to prevent this from another family feeling this way.
Now, Keith is not the only person who put their trust and money into Johnson's hands. 4 other lawsuits have been filed against Johnson in Charleston, Berkeley, and Dorchester counties, alleging he left more hard-working people out thousands. 1 was settled, 2 received judgments, and 1 is still pending.
You have no right to ask people for this amount of money when you're operating at this level. You don't know what to do with it.
I'm trying to understand why that man gave him $300,000. Maybe he had the money like that, but $300,000 trusting him with somebody? You're not trusting it in the stock market. You're not trusting it with some random dude. Some people can really are some great talkers.
Tasha Drayton's husband also sued Johnson after he invested around $360,000 into Johnson's business, and their investment return, like Johnson, is nowhere to be seen.
It affected our lives. You know, when you invest into a business, my husband invested in this business in good faith. It affected our household.
Based on the filed lawsuits, Johnson allegedly owes at least $800,000 to Postal Service employees and investors in the Lowcountry. USPS employees we spoke with say they have not yet filed lawsuits due to their employment, adding the total that Johnson owes to potentially over $1 million.
What is happening in South Carolina?
He has to be stopped. We only know just that much in our little research. Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, I'm sure it's more.
Johnson not only faces legal action here in South Carolina, a New York company claims it's out over $25,000 from Johnson's failed financing.
Oh yeah, he's scamming.
He also has a criminal record. In 2021, Johnson pled guilty to grand theft for stealing thousands from a YMCA in Florida.
He's hurt a lot of families, and he needs to be brought to justice.
Who knows? He could be in other states right now working for a post office.
USPS's website states any contractor must receive security clearance and undergo background screening before being hired. Given his criminal history, Johnson's victims are now asking the question, how was he allowed to be hired by the United States Postal Service in the first place? We asked the Postal Service just that, but have not heard anything back.
Comments, yep.
He used the U.S. Postal Service to manipulate and defraud my husband and lots of other people.
That is crazy.
Honestly, just getting justice. Like, pretty much, I don't want a family to feel like how we feeling right now.
But what justice is even possible in this case when Johnson has missed court dates and cut off communication with those he owes?
Yes, people thought they were investing and didn't get, what they expected to get for that investment. But it's also theft. Right? If the person did not intend to actually deliver on the promises made in exchange for that money, that is a potentially criminal component.
Attorney Roy Wiley specializes in class action lawsuits and says, unfortunately, when someone is unable to be served, sometimes the next best option is taking criminal action.
In a criminal direction, you can get restitution. That is actually way more collectible because the person has to pay into that to avoid going back to prison.
For now, those who Johnson owes have to wait and cross their fingers for their hard-earned money to someday be returned. But for the Mackeys, they're left out far more than just an empty bank account.
Keeping my father's legacy going and just bringing this guy to justice because it really put a missing piece in our family, honestly.
This is the worst experience I've ever had in my entire life. And because Keith was so amazing, I want justice. That is my goal, that is my mission, my objective.
For Live 5 Investigates, I'm Emily Johnson.
Now, see, man, you invest so much money into something, and then you got scammed, and then you end up taking your own life. I can't imagine what he was going through. I can't imagine. See, I've already, oh my God, I can't. See, I don't understand what he was feeling because he left his family behind to deal with this. I don't know, man. That's Umar. Oh, Jesus, Umar. Oh God, yeah, we're gonna look at that, but I'm assuming the whole reason that they invested is because he had the backing of the USPS. But giving out, this man got over 800,000, probably more than that people don't know, because he's out. He's ran. He's over with, and that's what a scammer's going to do. If he gets caught, he's running. He's going to change his name, go to another state, and you know what he's going to do again? He's going to do it again. Start scamming people again, because that is what he's good at. I hate to say it, but he's good at it. He's a horrible person who caused the death or to cause someone to commit suicide. But, dang, man, that is crazy. That is absolutely wild. He said he in South Carolina and in New York got scams going. You know he's in another state right now scamming somebody. God, you got to be careful with scammers. Any kind of scammers you get. There's so much scamming going wrong nowadays. You got to be careful because they'll send text messages to your phone. They'll send stuff to your email. You just have to be careful. And the main people who are getting caught up in scams now are older people. Older people are getting caught, especially the older women. Oh my God. You say they don't care about your record as long as you get the job. I can see that. I can definitely see that. They don't care about that. But Jesus. Now, do you think they could sue? Here's a question. Do you think they could sue USPS? I don't know if it'll go anywhere because they'll just put it back on the fraudster, the con artist. But oh my God, you're out 360. You're out 300 million. I mean 300,000, and your husband takes your life. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I understand why she wants justice. You have to. I mean, oh my God, absolutely crazy. Let me know your thoughts. Have there been any times when you have been scammed? Have I been scammed? I'm trying to think. Not really scammed. Not really scammed. This one girl one time. Girl I talked to, messed with her a while ago. She hit me up, asking for, I think it was like $20. $20. Said her car broke down, some stupid stuff. I mean, I've already messed with her one time before. She said she'd give me back to me. And sent her the $20. She ain't send it back. That was the only time I could think that I was scammed. But hey, I mean, $20. I wasn't really stressing over $20 at that point. But yeah, that's the only time I can think I was scammed. But tell me any time you have been scammed before. But okay, let's see what you say. You said they probably could, but it would put whoever signed the contract in there. Yeah, well, that's true. That's definitely true. But that's absolutely crazy. You got scammers that you never know what they're capable of. And they'll take you for everything you got if you're not careful, because they don't care about what happens to you. They just care about getting that payday. But speaking of a fraudster, matter of fact, but we got a fake nurse. Yes, a fake nurse. Let me change this out. We have a fake nurse who was basically acting like a nurse for 2 years. Yes, I said it. A fake nurse who was pretending to be a nurse. She didn't have any certification to be a nurse, but she worked as a nurse for 2 years. So let's go and let's see how the cops found her. Let's see what it is all about. Absolutely wild. Let's get into it.
I don't just talk about legal stuff on TV. I'm a lawyer. If I want to represent clients, I don't just need a degree. I need a license in every state where I intend to practice. If I don't bother to get one and I start doing lawyer stuff anyway, I'm probably going to need a good lawyer. And the same goes for doctors and nurses. They may have the schooling, they may have the skills, but if they don't have that piece of paper, they don't get anywhere near a patient.
Absolutely right. Like I said, I'm a licensed engineer in my state. So if anything happens, if you pretend to be an engineer and are signing off documents, you can go to jail for a long time, especially for engineering, because you can cause some severe deaths. But let's keep going into this.
Brings us to Autumn Bardisa. Most likely knew all of that, but police in Palm Coast, Florida say she worked as a nurse in a hospital caring for a lot of patients anyway, for almost 2 years, using somebody else's license. The hospital fired her in January of this year, but the other shoe didn't drop until Tuesday of this week.
Hey there, are you Autumn? Yeah. Can you step out of the car for me, please?
Sure. Absolutely.
me a favor, just turn around and put your hands behind your back.
Oh, wait, what's going on?
Put your hands behind your back.
Okay,
We'll
my
play
child's across the street.
Okay, all right.
Am I being arrested?
You are.
Wait,
Hold on, hold on.
Oh,
hold
no,
on.
here come the tears.
But can I?
We have plenty of time to talk.
Okay.
Just give us just a minute.
Can I see my car?
Yeah, we'll take care of all that.
Can I call my house so I can tell her I can't go to the shop?
Yeah, you have any other weapons? Juliet 34 flag. Just one female secure.
The Flagler County Sheriff calls this, quote, one of the worst cases of medical fraud he has ever investigated. And Sheriff Rick Staley is with us now. Welcome to the program, Sheriff. Thanks so much for coming on. I can't believe this. This alleged fake nurse gave hands-on care to, over 4,000 patients? How on earth did this happen? How'd she get away with it, allegedly?
Well, she graduated from a college with a nursing degree. She took an exam, be licensed, and failed it. About a year later, she applied for Advent Health, and they hired her as an advanced nurse tech under the supervision of a registered licensed nurse. As part of that employment requirement, she was required to successfully pass the state licensing exam. Jump forward a few months, and she was scheduled to take another exam. She failed to show up to take it. Jump forward a few more months, and when she's challenged by the HR department at the hospital, she says, "Oh, I just took the exam and I passed." And they said, "Okay, what's your license number?" She gave them a license number. They ran it in the state system, realized the last name was different. So they challenged her, "Why is the last name different?" She goes, "Oh, I just got married." It was like, "Okay, congratulations, but we need a copy of your marriage certificate."
Fake marriage certificate.
Well, as things went along, that fell through the cracks. She never provided it at all. And then so now they consider her a registered nurse, as if she has a license. And what she had done was assume the name and the identity of another nurse that is in fact registered in Florida and licensed, who had the same first name, but a different last name. And ironically, they went to the same college together, but they did not know each other in college.
Unbelievable.
Even more ironic is this other nurse's identity was stolen, and license was stolen. Actually works for Advent Health also, but in South Florida. And so as things progressed, she was doing everything that a registered nurse should do, and she was up for promotion to a charge nurse. And that triggered a review of her file. They realized that she had never provided the marriage certificate. They ordered her to do it a number of times. She didn't do it. They ended up firing her. Evidence shows that she never did get a registered license as a nurse in Florida. In fact, the license that she had been working under on her own name, which is more of like an LPN, it's not called that, but like an LPN, that license had even been expired.
Yeah.
And so about 2 months after they fired her, they notified us, which began our investigation. Ironically, about 6 weeks after she was fired, she actually did take the test and passed it. And so she was then officially a registered nurse in Florida, and she was hired by a traveling home healthcare as an RN. And that's why you see her in the scrubs when we arrested her.
Yeah, that explains it. And look, I mean, thank goodness the reports are she didn't harm any of these patients. She must have been doing a good job, like you said, because she got a promotion. Sheriff, this is an unbelievable story.
Nah, that's crazy. You know, think about that. She worked for a nurse, worked as a nurse for 2 years. I'm not surprised she passed the exam. If she couldn't pass the exam after working for 2 years as a nurse, I mean, it wasn't meant for her. Absolutely.
It's still developing. Would love to have you back on to talk more about it as we find out the next steps. But yeah, great police work, and there's a lot more answers that need to come from this. Sheriff Rick Staley, thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Thank you for watching.
Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Now let's go over into this article that has more to do with this, so we can break down a little bit more of it. So let's get into it. So let's see what this is talking about. Zoom, I gotta zoom in so we can all look at it together. Where did it go? Right, there it is. Okay, a Florida woman. So let's see what it's talking about. So we just looked at a Florida woman poses as a nurse, treats thousands of patients. So Autumn, 29, was accused of submitting fake records to the job at the Palm Coast Hospital, a city of about 10,000. She treated nearly 4,500 patients from June 2024 to January 2025 when she was fired for a nurse for her rules unraveling. She was charged with 7 counts of practicing healthcare professional without a license and 7 counts of fraudulent use of personal identification information. Each is a third-degree felony that carries up to 5 years in prison. The sheriff officer said that she was arrested on August 5th while wearing medical scrubs. A photo released by the sheriff office showed that she is being held for $70,000 bond, and jail records show. This is one of the most disturbing cases of medical fraud we've ever investigated. It wasn't immediately clear if she had an attorney who had commented on her behalf. Who did the Florida woman get? Oh my God. Investigated in advance. She was working as, so we looked at that before. She was working as a nurse tech before. Yeah, 40,000. Yeah, it is absolutely crazy. She couldn't pass the exam. Simple. She couldn't pass the exam, so she said, "You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and find some fake identity, and I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna become a nurse anyway." She was getting paid and up for promotion. She working good, working real good, up for promotion. And all of it unravels when they start doing the regular stuff for the promotion and gets fired. Luckily, she was able to pass after she got fired the test, but that didn't take away what she's done before. Yeah, she about to do some time now. All because she took somebody's identity and was working as a nurse. It seemed like she was doing a good job. But at the end of the day, you can't steal somebody's identity to work as a professional that requires a license. You know how much, the hospital could have been, oh my God, the amount of suing that the hospital could have got if somebody would have found that out. Absolutely crazy. They might can still sue. Because they dropped the ball. They asked for the marriage license and it fell off. It slipped through the cracks. They said, they didn't think about it until 2 years later when she was up for promotion. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Tell me your thoughts on that. How much time you think she get? They said 5. It can be up to 5 years for each count, and she got like 3 counts of just the different charges. So, yeah, I can see her doing 5 years. I can see her doing 5 years. Oh my God. Absolutely crazy, y'all. Absolutely crazy. Now we got a few more things to go over. The next thing we're going to pivot over into, I was shocked to see this, but someone ended up, where is it at? Oh, I ain't even got that written down, but someone ended up, let me go over to this, doing a GTA, something that you would only see in GTA now. You would only see in GTA. Ended up stealing a big rig. So let's jump right over into that. And see what it's talking about. Let's jump right into it.
Those drivers, of course, not sure what to do. It's not clear whether we look at he's trying to stop or whether, now passenger doors open. Attempted carjacking. Wow, this is not good. Doors locked. That was smart. Now they're getting back in. Wow, this is a wild one. Driver continuing onto the freeway on the off-ramp. Obviously very dangerous.
What is wrong with people?
Okay, we're working to get an LAPD or current or former officer on the phone with us to talk about this. So again, carjacking suspect out of the Lancaster area, at least 2 people in the vehicle. Are we going the wrong way on the freeway?
Yeah.
So he's going southbound, I believe, on the northbound 405 on the shoulder. Obviously incredibly dangerous. We don't have control of the helicopter just yet, so we can't ask them to widen out to see where the police cars or the CHP are in relation to that vehicle, obviously being lit up quite well with that sun gun.
Oh,
all right, now they're out of the vehicle again.
He got on a safety vest.
They're going to try to carjack that truck. Wow. Police are choosing to obviously stay, back off at this point rather than move in when they're jumping out of the vehicle. Now they're going off the freeway. It looks like an on-ramp. It's tough to know precisely what exit they're on. It looks like, is it that left front tire that's shredded? Yeah, front left tire is shredded. We don't know whether they hit a spike strip from earlier. Now the
he gets out in the car?
Wow. All right, so it looks like the suspects that were being pursued jumped out. You see the driver of that 18-wheeler jumped out of his truck.
Did they have a gun?
And now they're going to back it up. Some type of
is that a gas truck?
Tanker truck. Wow. Where is the CHP? We're not sure where the CHP is in this. All right, we're joined on the phone by Tim Lynn. Tim, are you watching this?
I am.
I hope nothing's flammable in that truck because they're going to go through a car race, and I'm assuming that they got into it because the cops aren't going to try to make it tip over because it costs too much. Oh my God!
Well, this has been unusual and really a dangerous pursuit here. Now, carjacking with this big rig. With that tank, as you were mentioning, it's unknown what is in there.
So, where are the authorities in this one? I know the shot's fairly close up, but they just wanted to wait and watch and see what happens, maybe not escalate the situation?
Well, they get into surveillance mode and they'll back off. Since this came from the sheriff's department and then handed off to CHP, it could have gone into surveillance mode to where they let the helicopter just track. But at that point, they have to go to a point where they come in and get back into pursuit. But now this has really taken a turn. You say it's got milk. It's more likely a milk truck we have here because that does look like some type of food vessel there. But anyway.
Absolutely crazy. We got to back that up.
We don't have control of the helicopter just yet, so we can relate.
Let's get over into the.
Looks like Ron shredded. We don't know. Is it that left front tire that's shredded? Yeah, front left tire is shredded. We don't know whether they hit a spike strip from earlier. Now
why did he get out the car? Why did he get out the big rig? I don't understand. Did they have a gun? Did they threaten him with a gun? And I would think that most big rig people would have a gun in general. I mean, it depends on the state, but that's crazy. Absolutely wild. It's literally like GTA. God, now they got to try to get the car down. Oh, God. Absolutely crazy.
Wow. All right, so it looks like the suspects that were being pursued jumped out. You see the driver of that 18-wheeler
messed up.
Oh, when their suspects that were being pursued jumped out. You see the driver of that 18-wheeler jumped out of his truck. And now they're going to back it up. Some type of tanker truck. Wow. Where is the CHP? We're not sure where the CHP is in this. All right, we're joined on the phone by Tim Lynn. Tim, are you watching this?
I am, Phil, and this has been unusual and really a dangerous pursuit here. Now, carjacking with this big rig. with that tank, as you were mentioning, it's it's unknown what is in there.
So where are the authorities in this one? I know the shot's fairly close up, but they just wanted to wait and watch and see what happened, maybe not escalate the situation?
Well, they get into surveillance mode and they'll back off. Since this came from the sheriff's department and then handed off to CHP, it could have gone into surveillance mode to where they let the helicopter just track. But at that point, they have to go to a point where they come in and get back into pursuit. But now this has really taken a turn. And you say it's got milk. It's more than likely a milk truck we have here, because that does look like some type of food vessel there. But anyway.
That's pretty much it. Yeah, all preliminary. Yeah, I did the units. What is it called? To come up with the feed. I have a geotechnical units in there that I basically around that same thing. Let me pull it up real quickly. I had 20 hours for me, 8 hours for Anthony, 4 hours for you, and then just the normal hours for like the geologists for like their 2 days out there, stuff like that. You got 2 hours for Todd. Yeah. I think I put 4 hours for Todd and 2 hours for Tiffany. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yep, it's in there. All right. All right, sounds good. I'll get everything wrapped up for the meat and hunt. Send that on. Yep. But I'm assuming, well, it's not due until tomorrow, but he just wanted it a day early. But we'll go ahead and send it over there. Yep, that's everything. Will do. All right, sounds good. Thank you. No problem. Bye. Sorry about that, y'all. Got things to do. But so we got that is an absolutely crazy story, but I don't understand why he got out the vehicle in the first place. I don't understand why he got out that vehicle. But we're gonna go through one more thing before we end the day, because hey, we got to get to work. It's almost the end of the day. But let's get over into this. Last thing we're gonna look out today is this 17-year-old girl was attacked by a pack of dogs. So let's jump right over into that and see what we're talking about.
Story here, we're hearing from the family of a 17-year-old Inland Empire girl who was viciously attacked by a pack of dogs near her own home.
More than a dozen dogs have already been rounded up, but as Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan explains, neighbors still fear for their safety.
And I see these wounds everywhere. I thought they ripped her arms off. That's what it looked like.
Maria Espetia is talking about her 17-year-old daughter, Tracy, finally out of the hospital more than 3 weeks after being attacked by a large group of dogs not far from her home in Newberry Springs.
I thought she was going to be fine because she walks to her bus stop every morning, so I would have never thought that anything would happen to her.
It happened on July 17th on a dirt road between their home and a local park where Tracy was going when the dogs attacked. A neighbor, hearing Tracy's cries for help, called 911. By the time Maria got to the scene, she says her daughter was unrecognizable.
I didn't know who she was. She was so dirty, covered in dirt, so I didn't recognize my daughter.
Got to worry about
I recognized her bra. That's what I recognized. And I got close to her and she's like, Mom, am I still pretty? I told her, yes, of course, you're beautiful.
She has over 100 dog bites. I mean, they bit every part of her body. You could literally think of, except for her ankles.
Tracy's stepdad, Carlos, showing us where it happened. This was her water bottle from that morning. This is her sweater.
What's going through my mind was the worst, you know? It was not one dog or two dogs, it was a lot.
A total of 16 dogs were seized by animal control from a neighbor.
Okay.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department saying the animals were not fenced nor leashed. The family took this video of one of the dogs shortly after the attack, but others around town are worried about the number of wild dogs that roam free.
We have been in situations where we're out walking and all of a sudden dogs rush out from a fence or out from nowhere and start circling around us.
A GoFundMe campaign is set up to help support Tracy's recovery.
She's so positive. She has a beautiful mentality. Her soul is so beautiful. Like she cares a lot about people, and if it wasn't for her positive attitude, I think I'd be going crazy.
The San Bernardino County Sheriff's Department is still investigating. The dogs are in the custody of the Barstow Humane Society.
Put them down.
In Newberry Springs, Rob McMillan, ABC.
Simple as that. Put them down. Yeah, I hope that's not, because they said 16 dogs. 16. Let's go back to that. 16 dogs. Golly. How do you? Oh my God. I've said this before because I've reviewed a couple of mauling news articles and news videos. Be able to protect yourself, because you best believe, I don't care if I don't see no owner where he can get control of the dog, and the dog is going to attack me, the dog is getting put down by me. I don't care. You gotta protect yourself. Ain't no way 16 dogs attacks one 17-year-old girl. All those dogs have to be euthanized. We gotta be honest about it. All of them have to be euthanized. I don't care who the owner is, and the owner needs to be charged. If one of those dogs had an owner, the owner has to be charged. Absolutely crazy. Oh my God.
Explains neighbors still fear for their safety.
And I see these wounds everywhere. I thought they ripped the arms off. That's what it looked like.
Maria Espetia is talking about her 17-year-old daughter, Tracy, finally out of the hospital more than 3 weeks after being attacked by a large group of dogs not far from her home in Newberry Springs.
I thought she was going to be fine because she walks to her bus stop every morning, so I would have never thought that anything would happen to her.
It happened on July 17th on a dirt road between their home and a local park where Tracy was going when the dogs attacked. A neighbor, hearing Tracy's cries for help, called 911. By the time Maria got to the scene, she says her daughter was unrecognizable.
I didn't know who she was. She was so dirty, covered in dirt, so I didn't recognize my daughter. I recognized her bra. That's what I recognized. And I got close to her and she's like, Mom, am I still pretty?
Oh my God. That is crazy. God, that is crazy. And she asked, am I still pretty? Oh my God. Yeah. The dogs have to be put down. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. It's scary how dangerous these dogs can be when they maul someone. I've gotten several videos of women getting mauled on their birthdays by dogs. A man dying just trying to save his wife from a dog attack. 2 dogs attacks. It's probably multiple breeds. You can't just blame one. You can't blame a breed. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. There's not much to say about it. Be able to protect yourselves. But hey, you right there with me. You are right there with me. Dogs are out of here. Them dogs got to be, it's over. There's no ifs, ands. You don't need to debate. As soon as the dog got into the pound, they should have been euthanized. Go ahead and put them out. Put them out. It's over with. They done crossed the line. Now go back and watch. I just did a recent video that was just released that I did. It's an infant was killed by his family dog. Yes, the infant was killed by his family dog. So go watch that. Oh my God. You have to be careful. They are man's best friend, but sometimes they can be the worst enemy and cause you to lose your life. Like I said, I don't think it's all dogs. I don't think it's a breed. I think it's some of them are just the strays, and then some of them have bad owners that turn them into this. I'm not even gonna put that comment up there. You wild. But absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. We got to pray for the family like always. No one deserves this. No one deserves this. No little girl, 17-year-old deserves for this to go through. But absolutely crazy, y'all. That is absolutely crazy. Absolutely. But that is the end for the show today. Tell me your thoughts, everybody. Tell me if you disagree with any things I said. If you feel like I was completely wrong, or if you tell me if you agree. We just have to have discussions about it, because there's a lot of things happening in the world where we have to review the world together. Like I always say, that's my saying, let's review the world together. But if you have any of the videos that you want to review and talk about, send them. You can send them to my email. It's acreviewstheworld, put a.c.reviewstheworld. Send me any kind of videos you think that you want to review on the channel. We can. If I like them, of course, then we'll talk about them. Let's have a discussion on some of these things. We can always have a civilized discussion on things. If you think I'm wrong, tell me. No need to call any names or anything like that. Let's just talk about it like civilized people that we are. Like the civilized people that we are. But that is it for the video, the show today. Remember, this is AC Reviews the World, and I'm AC the Engineer. And we're going to keep reviewing the world together. But you already know I got to play the outro. And then we got to get to work. Hey, peace.